Let's do it.
With some of the biggest news this week, and you were the first person I thought about this. All right? Because James Harden, once again, got what he wanted. The 76ers finally traded him to the Clippers. Now, he had specifically asked for this trade over the summer, just like he had asked for all of his other trades, asked to leave the Rockets, asked to leave the Nets, asked to leave the 76ers. So if history repeats itself, the Clippers got a solid year plus with Harden. But things have already gotten spicy, okay? Because at Harden's intro presser for the Clippers, he did not hold back sharing why things went so wrong.
About his unhappiness with the front office and with the way he was used last year. Were those concerns he voiced to you, to the team? Did you get a sense that he was really that unhappy here?
I don't think so. I think he did a lot of great things for us. But the notion of misuse, maybe that might have been coming from the way he felt, the coaching staff and what was said. But in my opinion, I just feel like, we allowed him to just be himself, and we gave him the ball every single possession. And because he's really good. I mean, he's an amazing, player. Obviously, being that great of a passer, I think we gave him the ball. If you watch again, we gave him the ball every single possession to just go out and do his thing. And from that, he had to make decisions as far as getting guys open or looking out for himself. But I thought he did a pretty good job. Getting us into the offense and.
I gotta give credit though, real quick. That was Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
I thought he answered that question in a very respectful way.
He did.
He had an opportunity.
He didn't snap back.
He did not.
He did not snap back.
And
but
he had every right to at this point.
He did. But before we get into this, we actually need to hear the Harden sound. Do we have the Harden sound? Yeah. Okay, let's actually roll that one.
When I'm in a leash, I'm not meant just shooting the basketball every time. I meant like I think the game, and I'm a creator on the court. You know what I mean? So if I got a voice to where I can, hey coach, I see this. What you think about this? Then it's like, oh, okay. Like somebody that trusts me, that believes in me, that understands me, that I'm just not I'm not a system player. I am a system.
I am a system.
Yeah, you're also annoying sometimes.
Hey, okay. So once again, as I mentioned, James Harden got what he wanted and is now in LA. But I have so many questions. Will the third time requesting a trade on a new team, third time be the charm? He's expected to make his debut on Monday against the Knicks in New York. And do the Clippers really think that this is going to be the missing piece that they need?
That's
you're a huge Clippers fan here,
for sure.
Monse.
Right. So obviously they think something, right? When the story came out weeks ago that he wanted to go to the Clippers, I instantly said, stay away from my Clippers. We have enough problems as it is. I just want Kawhi and Paul George to play more than 4 games together. That's all I'm asking this season. So I did not want him here, especially because the initial rumors were that we were going to have to get rid of Terrence Mann, who I really like, or Bones Highland, who we got last year. And so I was against it because I did not see how somebody like James Harden could come in and change his style of play for the better. And then we heard that the Rockets were interested in him. And then when he said, I wanted to be the scoring champ again, the Rockets were like, never mind. Going to the narrative of can you really adjust yourself? Because you could tell me that James Harden sucks, and that's not what this is about. James Harden might not be in his prime. He is a good player.
Well, on paper, he's one of the best players in the league. He's undeniably talented, but he's bounced around so much.
And not just,
I think he has a hard time finding chemistry with teammates.
Right, and for various reasons, right?
Yeah, and that's the number one thing that needs to mesh and gel and click immediately if this is going to work in LA. He needs to find that chemistry with Kawhi and Paul George. And is that going to happen?
And it's not even just chemistry. It's again, do you realize who you are today, James Harden? You are a very good player and you can contribute, but you know what? There's a lot of good out there. You are no longer in your prime, but you are good. If he accepts that you're not option one, You're not option 2. Now, I'm not saying that there's not going to be a game where you are option 1, because if you have the hot hand, I'm going to give you the ball. And Kawhi and Paul George are like that, where it's like, if you have the hot hand, we're going to give it to you. Don't worry. So there is a chance where you could be the guy, but naturally, you're not option 1, not option 2, to be honest, in my opinion.
But are you going to be able to tell them that? Because they all can't be number 1. Someone is going to have to take a back seat. And who's that going to be? I mean,
I believe very much in Coach Ty Lue.
Okay.
I believe that he is keeping it real
To
with
who?
him, with James Harden.
With Harden?
I
what
believe,
about Kawhi?
Oh, I think, it's kind of...
Because you heard his presser, right?
Yeah.
He's like, we're going to have to figure it out.
Because that's the honest truth. And if anyone is ever honest and literal, it's Kawhi Leonard. He's a fun guy, everybody. He is very honest, and it's true. They're going to have to figure it out. As a Clippers fan, I'm hoping that they can figure it out, but I'm also not stupid. I can see that his toxicity of not having chemistry year after year, or not, like, he has these great performances. We saw it in the playoffs last year when Joel Embiid got hurt. He still carried game 1. The Phillies they did not win the series because I don't know, game 4, game 5, he choked again. Like, we see him choke in really big moments, and unfortunately, that's what you remember. You've also never won a championship. We also
neither have the Clippers. So let's talk about that, because the Clippers have been trying to find that missing piece to get over that playoff hump, right? They've been competitive. They've had the stars, but they've never been able to get to the top. The Clippers have never made it past the conference finals, right? James Harden has played in one final with OKC, lost to LeBron's Heat in 2012, but he made it to the Western Conference Finals.
A different lifetime.
Right? Made it to the Western Conference Finals with Houston, made it to the Eastern Conference semis with the Nets and 76ers. So both the Clippers and Harden have been close, but they've never been able to make it to the top. They've been knocking on the door, but both have had incredibly embarrassing chokes.
Yeah, or just unfortunate bad luck. Choke is a big one too. Injuries with the Clippers, like, you're just like, are you kidding me? Like, it's funny when you become a Clipper fan, you hear Clipper curse.
It is funny to be a Clipper fan.
It is funny. It is funny, and it's emotional, and it's up and down. Brian Fenley is a Clipper fan, so I'm not the only one here. Brian Fenley, B fan, we'll check in with you, and we'll see what you think. But I do know what's worse. I'd rather have an owner like Steve Ballmer. Clearly, they have put everything into this year.
Yeah.
In the offseason, I said, right here, standing right here next to Dan Byer, I said, get rid of Paul George or Kawhi Leonard. This isn't working. Wrap it up. Let's try something new. They obviously didn't do that. So, obviously, they're putting all their eggs in the basket for this year. He's not worried about the money. He's going to spend it. I'm hopeful, and I want to believe that they're making the right choice and that Harden is going to take a step back. Obviously, he was mad at Daryl Morey. Like, he's...
Really? You think?
Like, he's acting...
He was flat out holding signs saying he lied to me.
Which
he
I was into that. That was petty and funny.
Really?
But I really thought...
But now he's on your team, and if he doesn't like something and doesn't get what he wants, this is what he does.
Correct. So when I said that's funny, because remember, we were here talking about that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm into that. Because I thought once the season started, he was going to be a team player, because basketball is the biggest team sport,
which is why chemistry is
so important. And then you're not there, and then you show up on a plane and you think you're gonna hop on with your team.
No,
like, it's on. How is a Clipper fan supposed to be happy about this? It's impossible. Do we have hope? Because James Harden, like you said, on paper, can still bring something to the table. Should, and I believe he will.
And this should be a slam dunk big three. A, if they can stay healthy.
That's a big one.
And B, if they have chemistry. And we don't know yet. We won't know until Monday.
I don't even know if we'll know Monday. Honestly, I think we won't know for a couple of weeks, because chemistry can be deceiving. I saw the first 2 games with Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard, and they look so good. And now I'm like, ooh, the chemistry's up and down. They're not sure yet.
But that's a different story. Those are 2 players that are still in a good part of their prime, It's different when...
I don't know how old Damian Lillard is. I don't think he's in his prime. Very good. Very good.
Very good.
I don't know if Damian Lillard... I would say his prime.